Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video, and here we have number 3 in the Hasbro 6-inch G.I. Joe Classified series. This is Destro, the only villain in the wave so far. I think wave 2 we're going to be getting Cobra Commander, so we'll be getting some more of the villain. So pretty cool. The packaging is changed up for this one. We get a lot of red going on. We've got the artwork of Destro there, but definitely red up at the top. Looking really good. And then there's the side artwork. Back of the package with that same poster with all the characters looks really cool. Here are the different insignias, emblems for Destro. Again, I still don't know what they mean. You guys let me know down in the comments below, but number 3 for Destro. Before I get onto it and open this guy up, I wanted to talk about Snake Eyes, which I didn't know during the video. I found this out after a few people had commented and whatnot. So what you could do with the big old holes in the gun, so you can actually port and plug together like the larger gun and his sheath. You can actually port that in like so, and do that, and then you can actually have all weapon storage. You could plug it into the side of the backpack, or with the pistol, because the pistol's got that large hole as well, you could actually put the two guns together and still actually holster the pistol, so then he can have that weapon storage like so. Then you can get the sheath onto the backpack like so, and then he actually does have weapon storage for all of the weapons. So that is pretty cool. So fortunately I didn't know that at the time, but now I do. Anyway, let's open the Destro up. Alright, here is the Destro figure out of the package, and lots of really cool things going on in here. Some good sculpted details, and accessories are pretty good. So first, let's start off with those accessories, check out his articulation, and see how the figure is. Okay, so looking at his accessories, he comes with two different guns. We have this weird kind of looking one. It's all black and with a little bit of red on there. It's sculpted nicely. The scope, I think, looks really cool. Not a realistic looking gun, but still pretty cool nonetheless. Then we have this gold gun here. This one's a little bit more realistic looking, but still kind of exaggerated, I guess. But that looks really good. It's just done in a nice gold paint, which I really like all throughout, but the sculpt of it does look really good as well. Then we kind of get this really cool computer briefcase thing. It's nice. We get the Cobra logo there. It's actually only painted on one side, so the other side it's sculpted there, but no paint. We get silver paint for the handle, and then these buckle parts are actually done with a very shiny, rubbery looking gray or brownish plastic. So I'm surprised they actually went through that detail of painting those. And it does open up to kind of have like a computer thing. There's kind of like a screen. It's just got some green and yellow in there. And then here we have like a keyboard. As you can see, there's some red paint in there for the Cobra logo, a sculpted keyboard. And then I'm not sure exactly what that's supposed to be, but it's got like a turquoise-ish color in there. It's kind of glittery looking. That is pretty cool. It's a nice little accessory that Destro came with, and he can hold it in either hand, so not bad. We don't typically see stuff like this with Legends, so it's nice to see Hasbro, that they're capable of doing things like this. They just don't do it for Legends. I think one of the Power Rangers figures actually got something like this too, so really cool. Nice accessories. The Destro actually has a holster on his right leg, so you can actually use either weapon in the holster. So I did the gold gun. The gold gun, it's a little small for it, but yes, technically it does work, so you can put it in there. But I think it's kind of more so for this one, because you can actually put that in pretty far down, and the scope just kind of goes on the outside of that, and that looks pretty good. So there we go. Now let's take a closer look at Destro. Okay, here's a close-up look at Destro, and it looks really good. The face sculpt looks nice. It's going to be hard to see on camera, but he's got a little bit of green in his eyes. Otherwise, he probably just looks a little black to you. But having it in hand and really being able to see it, there is kind of green in there for his eyes. So that looks really good. The silver comes down to his neck. They hid the neck ball joint very well in this figure. It just looks like it's sculpted there. It doesn't look like it's something that actually moves, but that neck actually does move. So that is really cool how they really hid it in there. And I guess you can consider this an accessory, but he's got the gold chain with the little red stone in there. That looks pretty good. Good sculpted details on the figure itself. We get some brown paint with the black, which is nice. There's not a lot of paint apps, but what is there, it does look pretty nice. So can't complain about that. and we get kind of more of a matte black for his pants. And there's some sculpted texture into like certain areas. So you have this, which is a lot smoother than here, which looks a little bit rougher. You know, so a little attention to detail. We get kind of that same brownish color for those knee pads, and then down into the boots, and that all looks really good. And then here, this belt piece is a floating piece. It's kind of got a silverish color with some red into the holster there, which is red. Then his right arm, he's got like these little rockets on there, and that looks pretty good. So, really good looking figure. Let's see his articulation. Okay, so as far as articulation, I had mentioned the neck joint, and I don't know if on the roadblock if I had mentioned that, but you know, he's got the neck, he's got the ball hinge joint for the head, and then the neck also is on a ball joint, so you can get some motion in the neck. So same thing on roadblock, same thing on Destro. So just standard looking down, he can look down that much, he can look that much, but when you move the neck also, he can look down a little bit further. Moving it back, he can look up a lot further too. That collar gets in the way of that neck a little bit, but then with the head movement, you're pretty good. And then of course there's the swivel, and you get a little bit of a head pivot going on in there. Shoulder joints go up that far, you get a full rotation in there. There is a butterfly joint in there, so you can get it to move a little bit. You know, there's not a whole lot, but it does, every little bit does help, so that is nice. There is an upper bicep swivel there. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you a little bit more than 90 degrees, so not bad. Wrists swivel, and they hinge. Left hand is a roll of the dice as well as the right, so not the standard hinge on Destro. It has an ab crunch, so he can crunch forward that much. He can crunch back that much, and then he's got the waist the waist ball joint, so no standard swivel, although you can get him to turn. That ball joint will allow you to do a pivot to either side, and you got this belt piece kind of keeps getting in the way, so you can get him to pivot to the other side as well, and then you can get him to crunch down forward even more so using that waist ball joint. So lots of good movements and motions going in there. His legs can go out that far apart. The problem with this one is when you have the gun holstered, you're not going to get as much movement in that leg. So we're going to take that out. And then there he can do the full splits. So that works out well. He does have the drop down, which is a lot more noticeable compared to some of the other figures. And that kind of looks funny when you drop it down. But he does have it, and that'll allow you to get much better range of motion. So that's with the drop down. For up, he goes so high. Wait. Yeah, with the drop down, you can go a little bit higher, so it works out really well. There is an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee, which is great. You have a boot swivel right at the top of the boot. Foot hinges down. You get a hinge up a little bit, ankle pivot, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty standard articulation for the G.I. Joe that we've seen so far, which is fantastic. I really like what they're doing with there. So let's see all the Joes together now with Destro. Looking at the three of them side by side, Destro's a big guy. You know, he's not quite as tall as Roadblock. He's just a shy bit shorter, but a very menacing looking figure. He's got a good size and build to him. I think he looks really good. Can't wait to see more and more villains that we'll get. Cobra Commander in Wave 2. I think is going to be another one of the big ones, but you know, I think these are the two highlights of the wave for sure. Were Snake Eyes, because you know it's Snake Eyes, and then Destro, he's executed very well in my opinion. Hasbro really knocked it out of the park with him. And of course, here is Destro next to the Marvel Legends Stan Lee figure. Okay, so a bit of shaky cam for a second. I wanted to try and get as close as I can so you could really see the green, and I think there you could really see it, and it came out looking really nice. So as final thoughts for the Destro figure, I think he came out really nice. Expect an exclusive Destro figure later this year. It'll be probably fan channel exclusive. It'll be like the Pimp Daddy Destro. I think he's going to have a gold head. Then he's going to have kind of some of that purple and leopard print. There's an older figure that Hasbro released, so expect that to come out in a 6-inch version later this year. So that is pretty cool. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this figure. Are you going to be picking one up for your collection? I'm very curious. You guys let me know down in the comments below. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.